All right, the project I have for you today is we are going to make a simple box, 4 inches square in the bottom, 1 inch sides, all 4 sides. We're going to start with a plan like this. I want you to draw that plan, this plan, on this paper. We're going to need 3 tools. You're going to need a pencil, you're going to need a ruler, and you're going to need a triangle with a 90-degree angle. And we can take care of this pretty quickly. We have a reference edge. We have 4 vertical lines and we have 4 horizontal lines to the reference edge. Some other names for another name for the horizontal line is parallel line to the reference edge. So I'm going to write reference edge here on the bottom of the paper. I want you to do the same. I also want you to write best edge, just another name, so we can communicate. And the symbol I want you to use for that edge is an X. There we go. Reference edge, and that X right there is our reference edge. Just like that. All right, so for parallel lines, we need to measure 3 times. How many L's does parallel have? 3. We're going to measure 3 times for every line we make that's parallel. Okay, I have not given you a measurement here, so this is random. You can measure anything you want. I just don't want you using the bottom edge for your box. So we're going to measure up 1 inch to get our first line. So we need to measure 3 times. So we're going to measure at this end, we're going to measure once, 1 inch, twice, 1 inch, and at the other end of the paper, at the far end of the paper, notice I flip my ruler around so I can get as far away as possible, closest to the edge, 3 times. And then we're going to go ahead and line that up like that and draw our line. I'm going to switch hands so that I can draw the line easier with my right hand. Lay the pencil on its belly or back and pull or push a line, just like that. Okay, so that is our baseline, right there and right there. Our next line is 1 inch up from our baseline, and that line is parallel to this line. So we need to measure 3 times. We need to measure 3 times every time we draw a parallel line. So 1 inch up. 1 inch. 1 inch. Flip my ruler around. 1 inch, and draw that line. Okay, this time I'll lay my pencil on its back and draw that line. Okay, so now we have line 1 and line 2. We need to measure 4 inches to get our third line. This line is parallel to this line, so we need to measure 3 times. 4 inches, 3 times. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to draw that line. Make sure all 3 points line up. If they did not line up, you mismeasured someplace. That's why we do it 3 times. And on the back, and a nice long line. Nice and thin, not real heavy. Don't go over your lines a second time. Okay, and the fourth line, now we have 1, 2, 3. The fourth line is 1 inch above this line that we just drew, and it again is parallel to the third line that we just drew. So 1 inch 3 times. 1 inch once, 1 inch twice, 1 inch 3 times. And we'll draw that line. And I'll lay my pencil on its belly and just a nice, thin, sharp line. Okay, I think we've accounted for all of our parallel lines to our reference edge. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the vertical lines. Other words we can use for the vertical line in this case are 90 degrees, because it will be 90 degrees to our reference edge. We can also use the word right angle. We can also use the word square, and we can also use the word perpendicular. Now again, I have not given you a specific starting point. There's no measurement here, no measurement anywhere. I suggest just moving over, to keep things simple, 1 inch. So we'll move over 1 inch. This time, since we have the triangle to make the 90-degree angle, all we need to do is measure once. Okay, there's my 1 inch. Now here's the tricky part. We're going to take this triangle, line it up with our point right there, and line it up with the reference edge on our paper. In this case, it's the base edge. And it needs to be as perfect as your brain can make it. Right along there. That looks good. That looks good. Notice it's not lined up perfectly. It's not down the center because the lead has some thickness and it's going to put that lead right down the middle. So we're going to draw that line. And there we go. There's line number 1. Okay, that's this line right here and this line. So they match up. The second line will be 1 inch from the first line. So 1 inch. Triangle comes into place. Line up with your point. Line up with the reference edge of the paper. That's where an awful lot of people make mistakes, is not making this line absolutely perfect down here at the base. Okay, once that's there, hold everything tight. Oops, see, it slipped on me right there. It's easy. Paper is slippery. And we're going to draw the line. It doesn't need to be all the way through the paper. It just needs to be through all 4 lines. Okay, the next line. Now we have 1 and 2, and we need the third and fourth. So number 3 is 4 inches apart. So from this line, we are now going to measure 4 inches. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, which has the longer base at the bottom? Down here, A or B? Well, B is a much longer base, this distance from here, so it's a better chance of getting everything perfect as we make this 90-degree angle. So I'm going to line it up on this side this time, line it up with my mark that I made, my measurement mark, and draw my line. As you can see, look at the bottom, everything looks nice. Okay, one last line. We've done 1, 2, 3, and now the last one, 4 inches for the fourth line at 1 inch. So again, from this line, measure 1 inch. Use your triangle again. Now you can see it even more so. This A from here to here is shorter than B from here to the edge of my paper over here. So we're going to use the B flip over here on this side of the paper, and we're going to line everything up again. So I'm lined up with my pencil mark, my measurement, and I'm lined up with the bottom of the paper, and I will draw my line. And that is it. That is laying out a box with a 4-inch base and 1-inch sides. Now, to get this box to look like this, cut out the outside, follow these 2 directions. Cut the solid lines, and especially these little guys right here, and fold the dash lines. When you're done, you can take some transparent tape, or you can take some masking tape, fold it all up, put the tabs either inside or outside, whatever make you happy, and you've got a fantastic little box. Have a great day.